pretending to be a woman and being like, I'm in love with you. What? How do you even come up with this? Candace is just a freaking gorgeous machine. Machine? What? Is that a saying? You have quite literally cheated on your wife. With her cousin? I'm the best relationship she's ever had. Are you sure
about that?
Hello, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Layla, and today we are doing something we haven't done in quite a bit. So if you're new to this channel and you don't know what's going on, today we're just going to be reading some Reddit stories from across various subreddits. But if you're not new here and you're like, I know you, and I love you. My go-to page for all of my Reddit videos is this page on Instagram called Toxic Reddit, and they curate a page full of the most toxic Reddit posts from across various subreddits. I've been mainly reading Am I the A-hole from them, so I thought we would include some of their other posts today. They're literally my go-to, my favorite page. You should go give them a follow if you're into these toxic stories. I will link them down below. I just have a hard time finding the good stories on my own, so that's why I like to use them. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be checking out several posts from various subreddits. So I hope everyone's staying comfortable and having a good week, but if not, welcome in. Come on in, little children. Hang out with Papa. Everyone just cozy on up, grab your snacks, settle in, and let's just dive right in with our first story. Okay, so this comes from the subreddit, Am I Wrong? Can you stop? My wife is sad because I got my close friend gourmet ice cream when she was sick. Am I wrong? Oh boy. My wife and I have been married for 5 years, and we've never really had any major relationship issues. However, I did something yesterday, and my wife has been kind of sad and aloof since. For context, my wife has been really sick for the past couple of days, and she's been staying at home. Now, normally I would have taken PTO to support my wife, but work was really busy this week, and I had to go to office for important meetings. My wife was very understanding, but did ask if I could come home soon after work, and I said, sure. I am also close friends with Jelena. Jelena? We've been friends for 5 years, and she works at my same company, albeit in a completely different department. My wife knows about Jelena, and Jelena's even come to her house a couple of times for dinner. While my wife isn't super close with Jelena, she does think that Jelena is sweet. Yesterday was Jelena's birthday, and we usually don't do anything fancy on birthdays. We just give each other small gifts or go have lunch/dinner. Hold on, my voice is going. So after work yesterday, Jelena and I went to a fancy ice cream place nearby, which had opened a couple of months ago. And that was my treat birthday gift to her. The whole thing took maybe like 40 minutes, and I went home immediately after that. When I got back home, my wife asked me why I was late, and I told her it was Jelena's birthday, and we just went to have ice cream after work. My wife looked very sad after that, and I asked if I did something wrong. My wife said no, but ever since then, she's been kind of sad. I've asked my wife multiple times why she's sad, and I even apologized, but my wife told me there's no reason to apologize, and I did nothing wrong. Am I wrong? Dude, your wife is sick at home, and you go on a little ice cream date with another woman. Did it occur to you at all, A, to tell your wife you would be late, and B, bring her something? If you're not going to prioritize your wife, why did you even get married? Yes, you're wrong. I don't think this is about the ice cream. How much time do you spend making your wife feel appreciated, loved, and supported? What have you done to help her while she's sick, even though you said that you've been busy, but not too busy to take a work friend out for ice cream? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe the answer is you are the best husband ever, and she's never wanted for anything in terms of her emotional needs. But clearly, your wife is feeling some kind of way about a gesture that you made to another woman. It warrants some reflection. This wouldn't have been a problem had he thought about his wife for 0.5 seconds. It's simple. Hey, I'm going to get some ice cream with Jelena for her birthday after work, so I'll be home a bit late. Do you want me to bring you any? Would have prevented this entire situation. People are saying he's cheating. I don't know how we're getting our jumping to conclusions Matt out so quickly, but let's not do that. I see the issue here. I feel like I have said this in a lot of Reddit stories. Communication fixes the majority of the situations. So, I don't know if he communicated to his wife, yo, I'm going out to get ice cream with Jelena. Because especially it took 40 minutes, which if you round that up, is an hour. I understand wanting to get ice cream to celebrate someone's birthday. But I feel like if he had just communicated, hey, I'm gonna be late, I know you're sick, I'm gonna be getting ice cream with Jelena anyway, and then offered to bring her something or pick her up something, like, I just feel like communication would have solved the sadness. I think prioritizing a work friend over your wife who is ill and the lack of communication is kind of what's tripping up a lot of people. Anyways, on to the next one. My 25 male, girlfriend 23 female, is upset at something I did before we were officially together. How can we not let it ruin our relationship? And this comes from relationship advice. My girlfriend and I have a really great relationship. Before this situation came out, our relationship was great, so I get the feeling their relationship is great. She repeatedly told me this was the best relationship she has had, and how we communicate very well. We've been together officially about 9 months, and been planning our 1-year anniversary. Before we were officially together, we were seeing each other and did this for 7 months before making it official. 7 months seems like a long time to me, but that's just my opinion. The reason it took so long is because when I commit, and I'm not going to commit until I can give 200%, and she even says I am the best relationship she's had.
Okay, stop.
I'm just gonna pause from the story for a second and emphasize that I find it very strange that this individual is emphasizing how many times now? 4 times? That their relationship is the best, the greatest, and the best. That just strikes me as like maybe an insecurity thing. Let's continue on with the story though. I'm just gonna say I find that extremely weird. The issue she has because during our seeing each other stage, I hooked up with someone in her inner circle. She recently found out because her friend told her, not out of guilt, but out of jealousy for our relationship. I can go on and on, but she's not a good person. Most of my girlfriend's friends are great people, but this woman showed her character. Either way, this hurt my girlfriend when she found out. 1, because it was her friend, and I can say I was wrong and take full accountability for that. The other part is the fact that I was sleeping with others before we were official, but that was more of a miscommunication.
You sure about that?
She was under the impression that I wasn't sleeping with other people and just too busy to make it official. I had told her I don't want to commit until I can fully dedicate 200% and be the boyfriend she deserves. Just a misunderstanding and miscommunication. We aren't at a risk of breaking up, but she's been distant and just want to take initiative so this doesn't fester in our relationship. This woman showed her character. What about your own character? This will fester, no doubt about it. My character is the 9 months we've been together. My girlfriend will tell you how great of a boyfriend and partner I am. You freaked one of your girlfriend's friends. We can all see the type of character you have. Men really think sleeping with a close friend puts them in an amazing boyfriend here. Men think a 7-month secretly ambiguously non-exclusive talking phase before dating, to put the label of mere boyfriend on it puts them in an amazing boyfriend here. When I commit is definitely just code for there's someone else I'm talking to / freaking, and I want to figure out which one of you is better. I just find it weird how this guy has reiterated multiple times this is the best relationship she's ever had. Because I feel like he's having doubts now, and I do feel like they're at risk of breaking up. So a 7-month talking phase I find very strange. I'm not a big fan of talking phases. I know that's a big thing for a lot of people, but I personally have just never really liked them. I think talking phases should be short, and I think like the whole non-exclusive thing so I can pick who I want to be with is just terrible.
Bless you.
Thank you. I just don't really like the way this guy is talking. When I commit, and I commit 200%, and it's like, I'm the best relationship she's ever had. Aren't you
sure about that?
I'm just saying, if someone did that to me, we would be at great risk of breaking up. And in fact, we would. There's a weird vibe about this post I can't explain, but that's the best way I can put it, is that there just seems like a level of insecurity in the writing that I picked up on. The 7-month phase and sleeping with someone in her inner circle, gigantic mistake in my opinion, shows kind of a sense of disloyalty, and I feel like it's weird to sleep with someone you're seeing's close friend. Like, I don't vibe with that. Anyways, on to the next one. This also comes from the subreddit Relationship Advice. I, 33 male, am developing a crush on my wife's 34 female cousin, 33 female. How long until these feelings fade? I have a huge crush on my wife's cousin, Candace. I'm gonna say it's kind of weird to develop a crush while you're married, but let's continue on. This is a terrible situation I found myself in. I should say I genuinely think I have the greatest wife, Anna, in the world, and it's not even close. What does that... What? Huh? She's an amazing woman, mother, and wife. When I met her, she approached me at the bar, and I was flattered. We hit it off almost instantly. She was nervous, but I found it cute, and she said she doesn't normally approach guys, but wanted to talk. Later that night, her cousin/best friend came, and my jaw was on the ground. Candace is just a freaking gorgeous machine. Machine? What? Is that a saying? Everything about her, but it was too late. I did wonder how different things would have been if I had met Candace first, but 10 years later, I would say things worked out. We got married and have a great little girl. The thought had completely left my head until recently. About 2 months ago, Candace had to drop something off, and I took off while my wife was at work. She had borrowed my laptop because hers broke while she gets a new one. We were just talking and drinking wine, watching 90 Day Fiancé, and she confessed to me that when she showed up, she thought I was handsome, and it sucked I was already talking to Anna. This sounds fake. My jaw was on the ground. And I told her, when I saw her, I was like, damn, and wishing I saw you first, and she said, is that so? I immediately changed the subject, but my heart was pounding. Eventually she left and went home. She later texted me later, saying she just wants to hook up one time, and that she would text my wife that she needs help fixing her dishwasher, and to reply yes or no, and then delete the conversation. This sounds so fake, I can't. She said she would understand either way. I just said I will be over there, and deleted the message. I waited, and my wife said she will take care of our daughter, and that Candace needs help with her dishwasher. I went over there with zero intention to have with her, and to let her know that we can't do this, but unfortunately things went the other direction, and we had freaky time. We agreed it was just a one-time, you only live once moment, and that was that. Unfortunately, that moment started bringing up old feelings I thought was gone. She became much more flirty discreetly. I started being distant towards my wife. We both know we can't act on it, but I kinda wish we could be together, but it would hurt too many people, and I can't do that. But at events, we become closer. I had food on my face yesterday, and she was wiping it off. That annoyed my wife, who said she can wipe off my husband's face. She even complained about it in the car, but I reassured her that she's overreacting. Yeah, I'm in a sticky situation, and just need help removing my feelings before things get out of control. How can I lose those feelings so I can focus on my family? Edit. I get it. I'm a POS. You don't have to tell me, because no one feels more disgusted in myself than I am. I just want actual advice on how to have these feelings fade so I can focus on my family. I won't respond to comments just attacking me and not giving genuine advice on how to make the best out of this really bad situation. Bro, this isn't a crush. You cheated on your wife. You need to tell her because eventually it's going to come out anyway. Better from you than her cousin. Men like you are my worst fear. Let's talk about my crush. Well, actually, I cheated on my wife with her. But I only answered that I'd cheat with her and came to her house to tell her I couldn't cheat on my wife with her. But surprisingly, when I came there, I cheated with her so unexpected. You had me vomiting at Gorgeous Machine. I get the feeling this is either a non-English speaker or someone who just doesn't speak English. So, this is beyond a crush. You have quite literally cheated on your wife with her cousin, and you've been wanting to cheat for how many years now? It's been 10 years. You have a daughter. You married this woman. Like, here's the thing. You would be an a-hole if you broke up with your wife before you got married and then got with Candace, but at least you did something semi-respectable. Let's be real, the title of this post is so misleading. The only way I see to actually fix this is to tell your wife and to get a divorce. Like, I'm not sorry. I'm not gonna apologize for having a valid opinion. If I ever found out that my husband of what I'm assuming is 10 years, had a crush on my cousin this entire time, lied to my face, slept with her, and then, hold on, tried to gaslight me by saying that, she's overreacting after my affair partner wiped my face. Like, the divorce would be imminent. The divorce would be hailing down. It's more than a crush if you've already cheated. That's a full-on freaking affair, my guy. Tell your wife, get a divorce, and you can go and be with your little Candace, the gorgeous machine she is. I don't know what that means. Anyways, on to the next one. So this comes from Two Hot Takes. I fell in love with my neighbor and then babysat his kids. Now I'm questioning my feelings. Okay, so first of all, I'm new to Reddit, so sorry if there are any mistakes or something. I obviously can't talk about this with any of my friends or my mom, but then I saw a Reddit post on TikTok, and I thought this would be a good place to talk about this. I'm also going to post this in a couple of different places based on what came up when I googled best Reddits to post on for advice, so also sorry if this shows up multiple times. Finally, I know you all are going to judge me, but at least try to understand my side. Thanks. So, I'm a 34-year-old woman, and 7 months ago, I had a messy breakup with my long-term boyfriend. So I moved in with my best friend and her husband in a house we are all renting together. It was then that I met my neighbor, who I will call Kay. He helped us move our stuff into the house, and I was instantly smitten. We live in the suburbs of a major city, so we ended up taking the train into work at the same time each day. I knew Kay had a wife and kids very early on. He talked about them often, and pictures of them on his lock screen, social media, etc. However, initially it started out as a very innocent, silly crush. He is handsome and funny and sweet. The first time we rode the train, he asked me about my job and seemed genuinely interested in what I was saying, which is something my ex never did. It is something we fought over a lot. He is always doing things for his kids, like bringing home treats and stuff for them, and staying on the phone with his older daughter the entire ride to work because she needed a pep talk before a school presentation. It was just so easy to imagine how lovely and attentive Kay would be with me because he is like that with everyone else. Kay has never said or done anything to imply that he has feelings for me yet, but we are genuinely friends by now because we talk on the train, which is about a 20-minute ride, almost every weekday. I have never had trouble getting the attention of men, and with this basis we have already, I know that we could easily become something more. No, you couldn't. I also learned shortly after I developed feelings for him that his wife is someone I went to school with, and I was surprised because they are polar opposites. He is funny, she is dry. He is exciting, she is cautious. He is a little dumb, she's very smart intellectually. Looks-wise, this feels mean, but yikes. I just don't think that their personalities fit very well together at all, and I can easily see Kay getting stuck in a relationship because he's just so nice. The issue is that yesterday evening, Kay knocked on my door and asked if I could watch his kids for a bit. This was of course no trouble, and I said yes right away. He told me that his wife had gotten into a car accident while away on a business trip, and because she is pregnant, he was worried and had booked the next flight out to go see her. They don't have any family in the state currently, so he asked me to keep an eye on them for a few hours while a family friend drove several hours to watch them at night. Now is there the issue came in. What? These kids were an absolute nightmare. There were 3 girls, and the oldest was your typical bratty preteen, times 1,000. She was rude and didn't respect my authority at all, arguing with me about everything from dinner to who had to clean up to what movies she was allowed to watch. I even heard her call me a biche under her breath a couple times. The middle was rowdy and constantly wanted to play loud, messy games, even when I told her no. The youngest was mostly sweet and quiet on her own, but she joined in with whatever drama the middle wanted to create. It culminated in me agreeing to play hide and seek with the younger 2 and ended up getting locked out of the house. When I went back and tried to convince the oldest to let me in through the back screen door, she pretended she couldn't hear me and put her headphones in. Thankfully, the family friend arrived a few minutes later and let me in, and then I went home. This makes me sad, because before now, I would often dream about being a stepmom to Kay's kids one day because of how highly he talked about them. Now I want nothing to do with them, but at the same time, this is further proof that Kay and his wife are not happy because children from a happy home do not behave like this. Are you a child expert? I just want to have a relationship with Kay, but I do not know if it is possible because his kids and I would not get along, and this is even before a potential divorce where their mother could easily get them to hate me. Oh, she delulu. I really love Kay, and I know that we could have a beautiful relationship if I pursued this, but this is really shaking me. I just wish I could talk to someone about this, but everyone in my life would judge me. What did I just read? So someone said in a comment, it's the fact that he found her post and later It's the fact that he found her post and later cut contact with her. Did he really? I mean, the username has been deleted, so I can't even track it down. And that probably means the post has been deleted, but yikes! This is a crazy level of delusional. I've read about a lot of women who, for some reason, really want a married man, and then they're like, but the kids suck, and I don't like the kids! I cannot imagine being this level of delusional about someone who is married with kids. I think wanting to break up a family is pretty insane. I don't know if the kids are even being described accurately. Who knows what this woman was saying and doing to these kids, but it's like...
Are you sure?
There's just a lot of people who, for some reason, really want to break up families. And beyond families, marriages. And I will never, ever side with someone who wants to break up a relationship and be a homewrecker. This is a level of delusional that I cannot get behind. And unfortunately, if he was like, yeah, I'm gonna divorce my wife and be with you, you're still gonna end up with kids who don't like you. Because clearly these kids, I don't know, maybe these kids already have an issue or already picked up with something about her. I don't know. But she just sounds like a psycho. Now someone's being racist in the comment section. Okay. Wanting to break up a relationship, never gonna side with you. I don't care who you are, what the situation is, get a grip. And, you know, on top of this, Kay's wife also got into a severe accident and she's pregnant, so they're having another child. They're gonna have 4 kids! Literally, this is not going to happen. You are not going to weasel your way into their relationship like that. Okay, so this one is very strange, but the, subject... the subject of this kind of caught my attention. So, this comes from legal advice off topic. Is it illegal to write an email confessing your love to your college professor? Note, I am not in love with him.
You sure about that?
Oh, man, I was hoping for some good tea. I'm kidding. Don't fall in love with your professors. That's weird. So, there's this really caring, considerate, friendly professor who's always very friendly and has a positive tone every time. Basically, a really nice guy who's very flexible. I've always wanted to praise him, then I thought of this prank idea where I pretend to be one of this female students, I'm actually a guy, and write him an entire long confession email through an anonymous account. What? You were complimenting this guy and now you want to prank him? What did he do to you? In the email, I mentioned that I'm writing this from an anonymous account because I'll be afraid of ruining our relationship, and then I'll go on mentioning my love for him, but I'll be sure to admit in the end that it's stupid and that he probably has a wife and for him to just ignore my confession. Basically, I'll pretend to be a confused, sad, female student who's in love with him. What? It's funny because I'd be curious to see his reaction, considering how friendly he is with his students, but that's if he even replies. It's got me thinking, however, is this illegal? Or can I be in trouble? What if the professor feels really uncomfortable and complains about the email to the college? I mean, I wrote the email from an anonymous account, so can they really involve the police or anything? Mate, why the f would you do this? It's not likely criminal, but it's a bizarre thing to do and could easily result in disciplinary action by your university. Do not do this. Agreed. It's not a prank, it's basically a pretty thing to do. So, you actually have a crush on him, and the whole pretend to be a girl, write prank letter angle is just the frame you're putting on because you hope we don't make fun of you for wanting to do something really messed up. Because this isn't a normal thing people think about doing. I sense a lot of defensiveness here. Why would you want to do a creepy and bizarre prank on a professor you find caring? Some people can't let others be happy. They see happiness and have a pathological need to destroy it. You're looking way too much into this, and acting like this email is going to make him depressed. I think he's just going to have a quick laugh. This seems fake, but that's weird. So, let's just pretend for a moment that this story is real, okay? Everybody just get into that headspace. Okay, you in that headspace now? Why would you want to do this to someone? Unless you actually do love them. Like, why would you want to prank someone who sounds like a lovely human being from the way you've described? Have you already done it? Are you secretly in love with this guy? Like, I have so many questions, but that's gotta be one of the dumbest, most pointless pranks ever. Because what would this really do in the end? I hate pranks. I'm a person who hates pranks with my whole heart and soul because a lot of them hurt people or put people into weird situations, or make people uncomfortable. Not every prank is like that, but you gotta come up with a better prank. Give him some salty coffee or something. Like, instead of emailing him pretending to be a woman and being like, I'm in love with you. What? How did we even come up with this? Anyways, that was our last one for the night. My throat is low-key killing me. I don't know if you can tell, you can kind of hear it in my voice. Over the past few months, I've been having health issues, and I've been trying to keep posting content, but my body just wants to beat me back every time I'm winning. I'm having a lot of issues that involve, like, my throat and my tongue. I feel like I was just punched into the throat. I've developed a really bad cough suddenly. What kind of... And my tongue feels like it's swollen sometimes, so don't make fun of me for the way I speak or the way I sound in this video. And I don't know if you can hear it, but I feel like my voice has gotten a little bit deeper. So I'm sorry if this video is short, or if I'm mumbly, or if what I'm saying doesn't make sense. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm posting because I love you and I don't want to lose this great connection we have. So yeah, that was our last post for the night. These stories are insane. These stories are crazy. Genuinely some very unhinged people today. So if you don't want to end the night here and you're like, I need more, I will link down to my Reddit playlist, which will include Am I the A-hole and regular Reddit stories, as well as to Toxic Reddit's page, because they have so many posts that I'm never going to be able to get to, and they're just one of my favorite pages. I love what they do. They also credit their posts in such a great way. I will try to link down to all the original posts and subreddits used in the video as well. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you all here next time.